bringing you other shit films that I can't recall right now because my brain will not allow me to.
I always thought Doctor Strange was a medical doctor. Huh. Well, Bob, when was the moment you knew the spark had died?
Dad's old handgun should fix this problem. I don't know how we're going to sustain ourselves eating a tan of letters.
Shut up and eat your damn letter.
Are you through already?
Sure, Sid.
It's easy when you know how to
Aunt
read.
Helen and Uncle Ross. Oh, and I want to write the cousins Jimmy and Alice and thank them, too.
I don't know how you do it, Wally. You make it seem so easy.
Yeah, I'm a fucking
I
stud.
brought down some old letters to try to find some help there, but it just didn't do any good.
Why not? You read me some of those letters. I think they were pretty sharp.
One of them had a word on it.
Reading letters and writing them. Walter, how do you write such good social letters?
Well, I say, hi, I'm Walter.
Well,
I draw a
Nora,
picture of my penis,
tell it.
and then I say, best regards,
Some people
Walter.
have it, and
One to Grandma every day since the
That's
day
not
I was
true,
born.
Walter Barlow. And you're going to
Sure,
sit
it
down
started
right
off
now
with
and tell me
scribbles
the
and
secret.
baby dick, but I got
Well.
better as I grew.
all right.
Well, not the baby dick.
Never the baby dick.
What are you doing?
Reading! We're gonna have to start from square one, huh?
Our different letters have different purposes. They do all kinds of things. There are letters of invitations, and some of them are formal ones. Now, let's see. You don't seem to have one here.
It doesn't
but I got
appear
one
as
in
if
the
you've
mail
been
just
invited
today.
to anything on account of you being a loser.
See?
Your handwriting is amazing.
Throw out the typewriter.
You'll notice it's written in the third person.
And they bring up
And down
ball
here, they
twice.
use formal. Well, I'll write a formal answer that starts out like this.
Fuck
Mr.
you!
Walter
I
Barlow
took a
accepts
shit in
with
your
pleasure.
mailbox.
And so on, you know. And of course, I'll dress formally for the occasion when I go. You know, it's only when the party's formal that the invitation is written in the third person. Now, take an informal invitation like this one. You don't have to write an answer to this kind of invitation.
Because it's from a loser.
Who's not deserving of social respect.
Well, that's one general purpose of some social letters. Giving invitations, accepting invitations, sending regrets that you can't be present. Now, here's a group of letters with another purpose.
This is what we call a
These are
ransom
letters of
note.
thanks. Tell me, Nora.
Have you
which of
noticed
these
that
do
you're
you
missing
enjoy
some
the
of your
most?
children?
Here, this one from Alice made me feel good. I could tell just by reading it that she really liked the present I sent her. Here, listen to this. Thanks a million for sending me the delightful book for my birthday. How
Man,
did you
she
know I
writes
could find
weird.
that very
Some
book
Jean
for
Grey
you?
shit right there.
This is a thank you letter for a gift. The one I want to write is a thank you letter for a visit.
Right, but these are both thank you letters. Now, these letters have still another purpose.
How many
They're
letters do
friendly
these
letters.
people
Letters
write?
that give news
Sounds
or
exhausting.
friendship.
To think in the modern age, all of this has been replaced by the abbreviation LOL.
I was shopping yesterday, and I picked out the smartest blouse. But then,
Irritable bowel
you know, as you
struck.
read that, you could just hear Margaret's voice, just as if she were telling you.
Terrible. Into the trash.
Oh, I was
Please
shopping
don't
yesterday.
flash to Margaret.
And I picked out the
No!
blouse. But then something terrible happened. I couldn't find my change purse.
Wow, Maureen,
I'm
another
embarrassed.
story about a
Thank you.
change purse? I'm
Well,
so glad I
I
invited
left it
you
at
over.
home.
This will definitely happen again in the future.
Oh, what an experience.
Why did
No,
teens look
wow.
like they were in their 40s back in the 50s?
Now, that's a pretty good example of the sort of thing that makes a letter a lot of fun.
Them not
Then
being
there's another
here.
type of social letter. It's the letter of sympathy. We don't have one here, but I got a lot of them when I had pneumonia. They were all informal and very friendly. And they
Laughing and
certainly made
pneumonia
me
do
feel
not go
better.
hand in hand. I
Yeah, you
laughed a
see?
chunk of my lung out.
Well,
Look at that giant mirror tilted down towards the table. Do you think the one kid that chooses his mouth opens like propped up right in front of that?
Well, that's what
Like I
I
was
tried to write, but it's not
back
very
in
good.
the good old days.
On notebook paper. And torn out. Written in pencil.
I'm
Hey, you'll
ashamed
wanna
to call
dig
you
into
my
that.
sister.
You better check that.
You
spelling,
are
too.
trash.
Read it, please.
Okay. Dear Uncle Ross and Aunt Helen.
Non-sequential
I hope you are all
bills
well.
under the trash
I
can
want
in
to
the
thank
park.
you for having
8
Walter
p.m.
and me for the gorgeous visit. We had a good time. Can you imagine what they think if they read such a letter?
She's a fucking idiot.
Ross.
Look at what this fucking bitch sent us. What? I've never been so offended in my life. Load the gun and start the car.
We have no family.
I told you it was an awful letter.
Well, what do you want Aunt Helen and Uncle Ross to think? I mean, how do you want them to feel after they read your letter?
Horny?
Well,
Confused?
I want them
Like
to feel
me all the
pleased.
time.
After all, that's the whole purpose in writing the letter. To make them glad that they invited me.
Why don't you try again now?
Now that you're less stupid.
All right.
Yeah, bad start.
I borrow some of your white
Let me
paper,
get the bullwhip.
and I'm going to use pen and ink.
We got this, sis. Kerwhack! Kerwhack!
Oh man, she's bringing out the heavy pen.
Now try to imagine what you want your letter to look like. Look at the page. See what should go on it.
Should it be more personal?
First, you'll want your address and the date, of course.
We live at Box at Boxington Street.
Then the salutation.
Box.
And the main part of the letter.
Box, box.
And finally, the complimentary close and your signature.
Another letter from Mary where every single word has been redacted,
You want
including the
to
date.
And
Why
you'll
is
want
the
page
date
well aligned.
redacted? Is she in the
Now you
future?
got the idea?
I don't want to be associated with that family anymore, dear. Agreed.
My address and the date. And then the salutation. Dear Aunt Helen and Uncle Ross.
I give you salutations. I am human.
How's that going to be?
Seems like a good start. Now, what are you going to say?
How do you normally do this? Dick
Well,
stamping.
I
Well,
wanna
that's
say
kind of
thank
out of the
you.
question for
And I
me.
want to say it in
A
way that will
tasteful
please Aunt
clam
Helen and
slam,
Uncle
of
Ross.
course.
Gah!
What would you say if you were there? In person?
Now let's see. I guess I'd say.
Get your hand out of
It was
there.
grand of you, Aunt Helen, to have me for a visit. I always have the most marvelous time at your house. Well, that doesn't sound much like a letter.
Maybe it's not supposed to.
Oh,
sound
he's
like
the
you.
bad boy of letter writing.
Shall I write that much?
Why not?
I'll use scratch paper until I'm sure.
You could
it's
always
what
just
I'm
kind of
going
talk
to
it
say.
out and not waste paper, bitch.
Hey, how about mentioning something that happened to us while we were there?
The time they let us ride the
That
horses.
sounds like
Wasn't
fun.
it
We shall prove to them that we are not the pod people.
We did so
Now
many
we will
nice things
engage
for us.
in the human
I'll
activity
never forget
called
riding
fun.
the horses. My, it was exactly so much fun. Why, this is going to be easy. I'll have a letter done in no time.
And I'll start on the letter to Jimmy and Alice.
Dear Uncle Fuck Knuckle.
I'm gonna get you.
There. I think that's a good thank you note. Do you want to hear it?
All right, just a minute. The page certainly looks neat.
And it totally sounds like, your
that's
own
good.
internal voice.
And
And I
while you
like
read it,
this little
why don't
bit
you
of
try to imagine
spit,
how
hair,
Aunt
and
Helen
blood
Uncle
you
Ross
added at
will
the
react to
bottom.
the letter.
All right. Dear Aunt Helen and Uncle Ross,
Yeah, that's good.
thank you so much for letting me visit you. I always have a wonderful time at your house, and so does Walter. You did so many lovely things for us.
Look at
I'll
this.
never
It still
forget
sounds
riding
like our
the
niece hates us
My,
and
it
wants
was
us dead.
exciting and so much fun.
We gotta leave the
But most of
country,
all,
Mildred.
I think I enjoyed just being at your house and being your guest. So
Let's
I
go
do
burn
miss
down
you,
her
and
house
thank you.
tonight.
Affectionately, Nora.
You know, Nora, that's not bad at all.
It's
With a little
horrible.
practice, you'll be a wizard writing letters.
Thanks, Walter. You know, writing letters is just a talent. Some people are
Now
born
it's a
with it,
skill.
some aren't.
Nope,
I'm
skill.
glad you appreciated my help.
Seriously, though, you're writing a letter to Jimmy and Alice. Can it be from both of us?
Gee,
Well, now,
Ooh, that's
that
a
means
pretty
I'd like to
big
say
breach
that
of protocol
I
there,
like to tell them about
sister.
our visit, and I'd like to give them some news, too.
well, all right. We might as well write it together. Here, you can write some now.
Oh, good. You know,
Great, I
was
get to
wondering
write
if it's
more.
going to be
Thanks,
a
you
lot
chicken
of
face
fun.
fuck.
And then once you're done with that part, you can throw it in the trash and I'll just mail mine.
How about some dinner, bitch?
Where's that bullwhip?
The end. Wow, your whoops went like hand in hand with the end noise.
I'm a professional, Brandon.
Beautiful.